Right now, tonight, while you're asleep, your liver is about to make a decision that matters more for your belly fat than anything you'll eat tomorrow morning or any workout you'll do this week. And almost nobody realizes this decision is even happening. Here's what's really going on. While you sleep, your liver, the body's main detox organ, is quietly choosing between two paths. It either clears the excess sugar sitting in your blood, or it converts that sugar directly into fat. And there's one simple drink, taken 30 minutes before bed, that tips this choice firmly in your favor. I'm going to walk you through exactly what's in it, and more importantly, exactly what it does inside your body while you sleep. Because understanding the mechanism is the only real way to decide if it's worth trying. That part is entirely up to you. My name is Dr. Michael Diamonds. I'm a medical doctor and scientist with degrees in biochemistry and microbiology, and I also compete as a natural bodybuilder. I'm the founder of Sculpt by Science, where my team of doctors and I work one-on-one with clients on their metabolic health every single day. So let's skip the fluff and get straight into it. Most people assume blood sugar is strictly a daytime issue. You eat, your blood sugar rises, your body handles it, and that's the end of the story. But that's not the full picture at all. Here's what's actually happening while you're sleeping. Your liver doesn't shut down overnight. It has a specific job it performs every single night without fail, releasing stored glucose into your bloodstream to keep your organs fueled while you're not eating. In someone who is metabolically healthy, this release is precise and controlled, just enough glucose and nothing more. But in people dealing with some degree of insulin resistance, that overnight glucose release runs higher than it should. Too much sugar enters the bloodstream. Insulin rises to manage it. And when insulin spikes while your body is lying still and not burning energy, that extra glucose gets converted straight into fat. Your liver ends up manufacturing new fat out of leftover sugar while you sleep. Think of your liver as a factory running a night shift. In a well-run factory, that night shift produces exactly what's needed and nothing more. But in a factory affected by insulin resistance, the night shift overproduces, churning out more than necessary. And that excess has to be stored somewhere. That somewhere is your visceral fat, the deep fat wrapped around your organs. This explains why some people wake up with elevated fasting blood sugar despite eating nothing overnight. Their liver simply overproduced during its night shift. And this is precisely what the drink I'm about to show you is designed to target. Think of it as an overnight reset, built from just two simple ingredients. The first is 1 tablespoon of raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar, the kind that specifically lists mother on the label, referring to that cloudy layer floating inside. The second is a 1/4 teaspoon of Saigon cinnamon, and I'll explain shortly why that specific type matters so much. You take this 30 minutes before bed, and the drink should be warm, not cold, not hot, just warm. Now, let's break down exactly how each ingredient works at the cellular level, because understanding the science is really the whole point here. The first mechanism involves apple cider vinegar, and the reason it works so well overnight has nothing to do with it simply being acidic. It comes down to a specific compound called acetic acid, the substance responsible for that sharp, sour, vinegary bite. While you sleep, acetic acid does something very precise inside your liver cells. It activates an enzyme that essentially functions as your liver's overnight shift manager. Once that manager shows up, the factory receives new instructions. We already have enough product. Slow the production line down, stop overproducing. Your liver picks up the signal and reduces its glucose release. Less excess glucose means less insulin is required, and less insulin means less sugar getting converted into fat overnight. There's real research backing this specific mechanism. A study published in the journal Diabetes Care, conducted by researchers White and Johnston, found that consuming apple cider vinegar at bedtime lowered fasting glucose, the amount of sugar circulating in your blood after a night without eating, by up to 6% in adults living with type 2 diabetes. That's the direction bedtime vinegar pushes your liver toward, doing a noticeably better job every single morning. If this is the first time a doctor has explained this overnight mechanism to you, give the video a thumbs up and share it. That tells me you want more content like this. Now for the second mechanism, and this one centers on cinnamon, specifically Saigon cinnamon, and what I like to call the docking problem. This ingredient works through a completely different biological pathway than apple cider vinegar, which is exactly why combining the two creates something more powerful than either one used alone. Every cell in your body has insulin receptors sitting on its surface. Picture these receptors as docking ports on a spaceship, with insulin acting as the supply shuttle arriving to deliver glucose. When those docking ports are functioning properly, the shuttle docks cleanly every time, glucose gets delivered exactly where it belongs, and your blood sugar stays stable. But once insulin resistance develops, those docking ports become stiff and unresponsive. The shuttle arrives, tries to dock, and simply can't get in. Insulin keeps circling back, trying repeatedly, essentially jamming at the door, while your blood sugar remains stubbornly elevated. Meanwhile, your liver keeps pumping out more glucose overnight, trying to compensate for the breakdown. What Saigon cinnamon does is deliver a bioactive compound that directly improves these docking ports, making insulin receptors far more responsive. That means insulin can dock cleanly on its very first attempt, and your body needs less of it to accomplish the same job, managing your blood sugar far more efficiently throughout the night. There's solid research supporting this too. A randomized, double-blind, controlled trial tested Saigon cinnamon over 12 weeks with 150 adult participants. The group taking cinnamon showed a reduction in fasting blood sugar of 8.59 milligrams per deciliter compared to the placebo group, and the effect was strongest among participants who already had elevated blood sugar levels going in. Here's the most important detail when it comes to choosing your cinnamon, and it genuinely matters. It has to be Saigon cinnamon specifically, not the cassia cinnamon you'll find sitting on most supermarket shelves. Cassia contains high levels of a compound called coumarin, which can place unnecessary stress on your liver, the exact opposite of what you're going for here. Saigon cinnamon, on the other hand, contains virtually none of that stressful compound. So always check the label carefully and look specifically for the words Saigon or cinnamomum verum. If a product simply says cinnamon without specifying the type, it's almost certainly the cassia version. And that's not what you want for this. Now let's move to the third mechanism, and this one connects everything back to your gut. It's part of why combining these two ingredients creates something greater than the sum of its parts. While you sleep, the bacteria living in your gut produce compounds called short-chain fatty acids throughout the night. These compounds travel from your gut to your liver, carrying a very specific message, essentially telling the night shift to steady itself. When that message arrives, the slow, overnight release of glucose becomes noticeably more responsive to insulin, and these gut-based messengers are effectively instructing your liver to run more efficiently overall. Here's where the connection gets interesting. Acetic acid, the active compound found in apple cider vinegar, is itself classified as a short-chain fatty acid. So on top of activating that overnight shift manager inside your liver cells, the vinegar is simultaneously nudging your gut bacteria in that exact same direction the whole system is already trying to move toward. You're essentially getting a 3-for-2 deal, 2 ingredients working through 3 separate mechanisms, all of it happening while you sleep. So here's exactly how to use this drink. Take 1 teaspoon of raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar containing the mother, combine it with a 1/4 teaspoon of Saigon cinnamon. Again, double checking that the label says cinnamomum verum or Saigon specifically, and mix both into a cup of warm water. It doesn't need to be hot, just warm is fine. Drink it 30 minutes before bed. I'd also recommend using a straw, since we don't want the acidity wearing down your tooth enamel over time, and please don't drink apple cider vinegar straight thinking that gives you a stronger effect. Not only is that unnecessary, it's also going to make consistency far harder to maintain. If you're completely new to apple cider vinegar, start with just 1 teaspoon and gradually build up to a full tablespoon over the course of a week. I also want to flag something important for your safety. Combining blood sugar lowering ingredients like these with existing blood sugar lowering medication can potentially push your levels too low. So get clearance from your primary care physician before starting this, especially if you're already managing your blood sugar with medication. And there's one more thing I need to be completely upfront about. This drink is not a one-night miracle fix. The research on bedtime vinegar showed the greatest reductions in fasting glucose came with consistent daily use. And that word daily is doing a lot of heavy lifting there. The Saigon cinnamon study ran for a full 12 weeks before researchers even measured the outcomes. So drinking this once tonight isn't going to transform your fasting blood sugar by tomorrow morning. But drinking it every single night for the next 8 to 12 weeks, that's an entirely different story. Consistency isn't just a nice suggestion here. It's actually part of how the mechanism works in the first place. So why does any of this matter specifically for belly fat? Here's the connection. Lower fasting blood sugar in the morning translates directly to lower insulin levels in the morning. And lower insulin means the signal telling your body to store fat is quieter before your day has even started. Visceral fat, that deep fat wrapping around your internal organs like a layer of toxic sludge, is the type of fat most directly driven by chronically elevated cortisol and insulin. Every single morning you wake up with lower fasting blood sugar, you're starting your day from a slightly better hormonal position. The signal telling your body to store belly fat becomes quieter, and the window for actually burning fat opens just a little wider. Over 8 to 12 weeks, these compounds create a meaningful shift in your overall metabolic environment, one that becomes noticeably less hospitable to visceral fat accumulation. To be clear, this isn't a silver bullet on its own, but combined with the other strategies we talk about on this channel, things like the food order method, taking a walk after meals, and eating protein first, this overnight reset adds a specific intervention that most people are completely overlooking. If you decide to start this overnight reset tonight, come back to this video in a few weeks and let me know how you're feeling. I read every single comment personally, and I'm genuinely curious whether any of you have tried a drink like this before. If you want a fully personalized approach built specifically around your own numbers, at Sculpt by Science, we look closely at your fasting glucose and fasting insulin, two of the most important markers there are, alongside more than 100 other blood biomarkers, because your morning numbers really do set the tone for your entire day. If you'd like my team of doctors and me to review your numbers and build a plan tailored to you, the link is in the description. Or you can scan the QR code on your screen to fill out a short application and speak directly with one of our doctors. There's no pressure involved. It's simply an honest conversation about what's happening inside your body and whether we're able to help. We're a premium service with premium pricing, but I stand behind the results. And if it's not the right fit for you, that's completely fine too. You're always welcome to just keep watching the videos. So to bring this all together, your liver is running a night shift every single night of your life, whether you realize it or not. The real question is whether that shift is running efficiently or whether it's overproducing and creating more than your body actually needs. The plan is simple. 1 teaspoon of raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar with the mother, combined with a 1/4 teaspoon of Saigon cinnamon, mixed into warm water, taken 30 minutes before bed, every single night. Let's treat this as an experiment. Run it consistently for 8 to 12 weeks, and then come back and share how things have changed for you. If you'd like to see more videos like this one, let me know in the comments, tell me you want more, Dr. Mike, and give the video a thumbs up if it was useful. And if you're looking for what to watch next, I've put together another video covering 5 additional drinks that can help target visceral fat specifically, and I think that's a great next step for you. I'll see you in the next one. And remember, keep putting one foot in front of the other, especially on the days it feels hardest to do so. If this kind of practical, science-backed content is what you're here for, make sure you're subscribed and have notifications turned on, because there's a lot more of this coming your way.